Good morning, YouTube. It's Becky. It is 6:20 in the morning on Monday, the 26th of March. It has been a long time since I've made a video, and I apologize. I'm at work in the parking lot. I got here extra early, so I figured I might as well spend some time making a video. So, I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy last year in June, and so my stats are, my high weight was 320 back in December of 2016. I have my list, so I'm looking down, sorry. Pre-op diet started May 30th, 2017 at 295.2. Day of surgery a week later, June 6th, was 284 even. The last video I made, I believe I was 207.2. This morning I was 202 and change, which is fantastic, incredibly fantastic for me. However, I did see a low a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, of 198. I was in the 198 to 199, 200 for about 3 days. So I did a little small happy dance, but I knew that my weight fluctuates so much that I'll get back down there, but it's going to be a minute. In fact, I've been sitting consistently between 200 and 208 for the last 2 months, 2.5 months. I don't even know. It's been a really long time. So right now I'm at week 40. I'll be week 42 tomorrow. So it's been a long time. Work is going well. I did get a new job. I work for the fire department in my town, and while that can be high pressure and high stress, right now I'm still learning everything, and I think that's taking away some of the stress. I'm putting in a lot of hours. As I get further along in my training, I open myself up for potentials for extra hours, and well, I'm trying to have some skin removal surgeries in the future, so I'm saving up as much money as I can. Plus, I can use the time I work extra as either overtime money or comp time, so either way I'll have paid time off or the money to help fund the surgery. So it's been going well. It's just been really busy. If you can hear, I don't know if you can hear, but if you just saw the flash, we have our first spring thunderstorm. It's pretty exciting. Back at the end of December, I joined Orangetheory Fitness, which, sorry, has been fun. I haven't been in a hot minute just because the one I had to join is kind of far away and kind of a pain in the ass to go to, but they're opening up one in my town, and that's only 3 miles away, and so, but they're not opening it until middle of next month sometime. So I just get in workouts when I can. I really like it because there's a whole running portion of it, and I don't really like running on a treadmill. I like running outside, but the treadmill work that they do in the gym, they're constantly telling you to raise your incline, lower your incline, raise your speed, lower your speed, and you're watching your heart rate, and the heart rate's great and fine. It's kind of actually interesting to see the stats over the course of the hour, but I just really like how the running on the treadmill feels pretty natural to running outside, because you are changing the elevation and the speed so much. And then of course they have the weights, which you can only do so much. I'm used to going to the gym and lifting heavy, so it's a little bit different. But on the days that I can't go to the gym and lift heavy, you know, lifting something is always good. And then the row machine, oh my gosh, when I first started at the gym, the row machine was like my favorite. I loved it. It was amazing. Now it's like the death of me. I haven't quite figured out yet, you know, how to properly do the row machine. I'm just doing it to be doing it. So once I figure it out, I think I'll like it, because it does get your heart rate up pretty fast, and it's all over workout. I went to the doctor in February, and had all my hormone levels tested, blood levels tested. Everything's good. I discussed with my doctor that, I'm 9 months out of surgery and I still feel hungry, whether it's head hunger or actual physical hunger. I'm hungry all the time. And while I know that having surgery was not going to cure that, there was a slight chance that it could get rid of that sensation. And that was kind of what I was hoping for, but that didn't happen for me. So he prescribed me Wellbutrin to affect my dopamine levels, which I thought that medicine was for a smoker trying to quit cigarettes, but I guess for a food addict it is kind of the same thing. So basically it levels out my dopamine levels and boosts them as necessary, so I constantly feel satisfied. Now, I still feel hungry from time to time, whether it's head hunger or physical hunger, but it is not overwhelming. I do not think about food all the time. In fact, there are some days where I kind of have to remind myself to eat, which is nice. It's a feeling that I feel like I should have had, or I wanted to have this whole time and didn't have. So it's kind of nice. And I do think that that's what created a catalyst for me to dip down below 200 finally, was starting that medication. So I will see how this plays out. I don't know if it's going to be a lifelong medication or if I just need it to get through the next few months. I really don't know yet, so we'll see. I don't follow a keto diet. I don't follow any diet necessarily. I really just eat what I want. Sorry. I really just eat what I want. And it's problematic, but I try to be good about it at least. I know that carbs are bad for me. I know that my body is super sensitive to them. I mean, I immediately feel bloated and just not well in general when I have carbs or too many carbs. So I do try to avoid those, but I don't not eat them. I have indulged in sweets way too much. Sweets are my downfall for sure. In fact, it's Easter time and Reese's eggs are calling my name, so it's pretty serious. So anyway, keto is probably the way I should go, as far as like following a program for my diet, because it is so low carb. I just can't get around getting the macros down. Like, I don't know. I get too involved in the numbers and then it all goes to shit. So I've been roughly tracking. I mean, I use my FitnessPal. I'm tracking my calories and I look at the macros every day and I try to stay within a good number. But I'm not so focused on it that that's all I think about, because I do get inside my head and end up self-sabotaging. That being said, we just found out that Robert, my husband, is diabetic, and which is not a good thing. It's horrible, but it's going to be kind of a bit of a blessing, because it's a eye-opener for him that he really needs to start taking care of himself. And, well, a diabetic diet, in the sense of how he needs to treat it, is basically a keto diet. So that's gonna work out for me. Right now he's just reading all the research he can about lowering his symptoms and trying to get his blood sugar under control. And Wednesday afternoon, we go talk to the diabetes educator and find out as much information as we can about that. See what their recommendation is. Hopefully it's not the standard American diabetic diet, because that is all carbs, which doesn't make sense, but we'll see. But, you know, it can't help to join him. I mean, he's supported me all along, so why not support him? It would be healthy for both of us. So I think that I had a couple of dumping episodes, and now dumping should not be a thing that I experience because I had VSG and not RNY, or gastric bypass. So I'm not entirely sure what it was, but I'm chalking it up to dumping. I had pizza one night. Now, mind you, I've had pizza throughout this whole experience, and I haven't had issues. So I don't know what the cause was. But I had pizza, and I definitely had more than I should, for sure. I did not have the typical symptoms of the flush, skin, sweating, diarrhea, none of that. I had tightness of the chest, shortness of breath, my stomach, and like my whole rib cage just felt like it was like spasming. I literally thought I was like on my deathbed. Robert took me to the emergency room, and on the way there, I mean, I was crying because I did not know what was happening to me. I've never experienced anything like this in my entire life. I was like about to start saying my final I love yous, and it was crazy. They hooked me up to an EKG, and the minute they hooked me up, I was fine. And that had been like over the course of like 45 minutes, I was fine. So we did some research, and he said that he thought it was dumping, and, you know, I was like, well, that's not one of my side effects of the surgery because I don't have that, but we couldn't figure out what else it could have been. And the hospital didn't know either. So I'm going to chalk it up to dumping. Well, the other night we made pizza at home. So the first time it was, you know, store-bought. This time we made it. And I've had homemade pizza before, and it was fine. But I had the same symptoms again. They didn't last near as long this time, thank God. But I still had the tightness of the chest, shortness of breath. It felt like my whole chest was spasming. And then it went away. And I was like, I guess pizza's out of the question for me, because I don't like feeling like that, because I had no control over anything. I couldn't like take deep breaths to help ease it. It was horrible. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And yeah, it's pretty horrible. So yeah. Anyway, this is 13 minutes. I'm so far behind. I'm sure I have lots of things to talk about. I will try to do better. Make a video next week. I'm starting to have a little bit more free time, or at least more manageable time. So anyway, 6:35, I'm gonna head inside, try not to get too wet, and I will talk at you guys later. Have a great day, have a great week. Love ya. Bye.